Fantastic. Happy Kwaai Day, everybody. The 30th weekly public meeting, the 30th Kwaai Day. Thank you all for turning up. We've got a lot to report on. Great progress this week. And we've got an agenda of stuff, of demos. There's nothing better than a live demo to get everyone excited. Let me briefly tell you about what I've been up to this week and what you're going to see. Balaji is going to show us what it means to have a conversation with your own private data. We've also been participating on IEEE working group that's developing the standard that just for the protocol of how a personal AI would communicate with third-party systems. We've been working on the pitch deck. We've been preparing for the Scale conference. Hey, that's not far away. That's 3 weeks away. So we've got marketing material ready to go. Membership is up to 189 members. You know, we ended the year with 150. We're going at a healthy clip. In February, we're clocking at over 1 member a day. That's a good rate. You know, I don't want to take on members too fast because, you know, it's difficult onboarding people and getting them productive, and you don't want people churning out because they're not getting engaged. So we need to work on that. But we've also, thanks so much, Eunice, for getting us a free free Salesforce account that'll help us automate our back end and our sort of membership funnel and all the other things we want to do, the other funnels that businesses are going to need. Good news, IRS now, if you go and look us up on the IRS database, we're a registered nonprofit. Before, they just sent us the determination letter. Getting us on that database was important because when I go and ask Google or all the other, or AWS, that's the first thing they do. They're going to look up to see, hey, are you a registered nonprofit? And so we can get those other infrastructure services free. You might notice if you visit the Kwaai website, there's another button now on the home page. It's a donate button. Now that we're a fully fledged nonprofit, we can take donations straight on the web page. And now we've got a Kwaai bank account. The money goes into the bank account. And so look for that. We've had great meetings. I'd like to talk about a meeting with Transparency Coalition. This is the Kwaai group reaching out to third parties, reaching out to other groups in our ecosystem to see whether there's an overlap or whether there's complementarity, how we can collaborate. Similarly, I've had meetings with AWS and Google on the same subject. We're stepping up our marketing effort. Thanks so much, Debbie, for your extra help in getting our marketing effort, amped up a bit more. Thank you. And we've made some progress on the policy work group front. So that's it from me. I'm going to pass back to our radiophonic voice of Matt, our MC, to get us back on track. Thanks very much.
I've got a face for radio. Thanks, Reza. Appreciate it. Maurice, we'll take some questions here a little bit after some of the updates at the end here. And then there's also a spot for member voices at the end if you're doing full introductions. But if you have a quick question, please jump in.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that Google has a service for nonprofits, $10,000 a month in free advertising.
Okay, I will look into that. I've already applied for G Suite to be free. We got rejected once because we weren't listed on the IRS, and I put in a second application waiting to hear from them. But can you send me the link to the Google Ads for nonprofit? I think I saw it once, but I didn't save it. If you,
I will be
thanks
happy
so much, Maurice.
Awesome. Well, we've got a lot on the agenda today. Some good updates. I first wanted to share a little bit from the survey results. We've been and I haven't finished processing all the great feedback in there. There's so much good stuff, but I'm not going to read through all these bullet points. But this is just a consolidation of a lot of the feedback around Kwai's mission and purpose messaging. People really liked the vision akin to the internet revolution. This is a big step forward. They appreciated that we're democratizing AI and making it accessible to all and focused on the education and ethical principles therein. There is some requests for some more discussion. We have a clear mission statement, but what some feedback was, we need a little bit more explanation of Kwai's purpose. Why did we do this? Yes, we're on a mission, but why did we put that mission in place? There were a lot of debates around open source, what it means, the risks. IEEE, for example, had that, the unique risks of open source AI. That was the link that was included in the feedback as well. So just something for us to continue to keep in mind as we are deciding on our license, which is happening soon, as well as continuing and reevaluating this in the future. Karsten, for example, shared that the open source licensing, the open source initiative, OSI, is working on a new open source AI definition. So it's just certainly something that we'll need to keep tabs on long term. Simplify, simplify, simplify. Thank you. Shout out Debbie again on that. She's really coming at this from an outside perspective and is going to really be helping us craft some of our consumer-friendly messaging. Certainly, we've got a bunch of tech folks here or tech-adjacent folks, but what we're building is something for consumers, plumbers and teachers and folks that are not in the industry. So having that concise, simplified messaging is going to be crucial, and really appreciative of Debbie jumping in to help add that perspective. A lexicon that came up a few times. We need a glossary of some key terms. I see Travis Perkins on the call here, and he and I have gone down the lexicon path together before. So Travis, maybe you and I can work on the Kwaai lexicon together. But things like users and principles and all of these words that we throw out, even things like AI or augmented intelligence. What does this stuff mean, and what do we mean when we say it? So having a lexicon in place is going to be a crucial bit of feedback here. There was a thought here. We had originally leaned into this idea of knowledge workers. We're doing this for knowledge workers, and a lot of the feedback that was coming out was, hey, this is more applicable than just knowledge workers. This is going to apply to everyone. And so really just a thoughtful idea to expand our focus to all. There was some thoughts around just balancing our words, democracy and self-sovereignty. A sovereign king is not part of a democracy, and so this may be part of the lexicon bit, but how do we find a benefit for the collective benefit of AI, but also the individual data privacy and concerns that we hold core to our development efforts. We do need to add some more concrete examples. You're going to see some demos today, which I'm super excited to see as well. This will help us add some of these concrete examples of what folks can do or can expect from a personal AI assistant. And then, we're also looking at, we've been using a lot of things like the Linux of AI or the personal computer and, some of these older terms. And there was also a suggestion and a challenge for us to think outside those boxes and, think about messaging in terms of what does the future look like with AI services. So some great feedback. Thank you all for taking some time to incorporate that. There was further feedback on just our personal AI messaging. So, really a strong support for our emphasis on retaining personal data and using a personal AI to help somebody succeed economically. So the focus on the economic benefits and that sort of conscious self-improvement, that augmented intelligence, as Riza had phrased it before, was very much appreciated, so long as we define it. Competitive matrix, we do need to do that. There's obviously a lot of digital assistants or promises of digital assistants. The Super Bowl commercial with Copilot, maybe you saw that. We need to get out there and start differentiating. How does Kwai's product differ from the other AI services in the market. That was another piece of advice here is some clarification that we're not building a centralized AI service, similar to OpenAI and others. We are building a product that people can self-deploy and maintain. And then there was some further requests to focus in on and define better some terms like self-sovereign identity, and try to pick some key terms here that describe that fact that we are not a centralized service, that we are not trying to take your sovereignty away from you and use that to train things for our own benefit. And so this was a key bit of feedback as well. And then finally, I'll just highlight, there are two key concerns to add to. One is really about the data security and privacy piece and some of the security implications of that. Let's help users understand, and this also feeds into just these practical considerations. So adding more to the adding more. I wish that thing would stop. There we go. Sorry about that. So adding more about the practical challenges with doing this. What are the practical challenges that a user is going to face when they take all their data away from the services, when they try to store that on their local machine or in their own private cloud environment, and how they're going to then protect that and keep that from leaking in other ways, as well as some of the technical difficulties with deploying, maintaining, and updating software. As things are changing really fast, if we're asking folks to deploy things, they're going to need to take on some of that onus of getting updates and staying up to date with the latest and greatest. And then finally, for today, I'll just share a few of the preferences from staying informed. So by and large, it seems that folks would prefer these recurring calls, getting invited to those Google events. So I'll be cleaning those up and sending out a new wave of those either over the weekend or on Monday here. And then also just Google document shares seem to be working for folks. If you don't have a Google account, please get a Google account so we can use that email address, and it'll just make things a lot simpler. Especially if you use that as your Slack ID, then the sharing stuff all works, and there's some easiness to that. We are trying to build a large distributed organization with everybody having different email addresses. So if you don't already have a Google account, we'd certainly recommend that you get one. And then the other thing that we've made less use of that we should probably revisit is the listserv. So Afshin had set up Gaggle, which is a listserv, kind of old school in that way, and we haven't really used it. So Afshin, you and I can take this one offline and figure out how we can take better advantage of that multi-party communication from the listserv. And that will be it. A few announcements on the Kwaai Summit. Super excited to share that we've got all our keynotes confirmed. Doc Searles, he's a leader and a visionary in self-sovereign identity. This is where, and Riza is involved with him in the IEEE working groups around that. Pankaj Kedia, a leading VC in the community, actually an investor in personal.ai, which is a centralized service doing a lot of the similar things that we would think that Pi should do. John Willis, a godfather of DevOps, and it's really going to break down the anatomy of an LLM for us and our audience. It's going to be fascinating, a fascinating presentation from John that you won't want to miss. Our own Kai Pham is going to be focused on a lot of the advancements in causal networks and machine reasoning. Hoping to hear a little bit from Kai here today as well, just preview for that. And Riza will be deep diving into fluidic neural networks, which I just love the pun in that. And he'll give us a little taste of that today as well. We do need thank you to Karsten, Jordan, Selena, and Debbie. Sorry I spelled your name wrong, Debbie. For kind of stepping up as our core team. Karsten's local in Los Angeles. If we need somebody there, Jordan, really appreciate Jordan's involvement. Jordan's also on the Scale advisory organizing committee. Selena, one of our board members, thank you, Selena, for also helping consolidate a lot of that survey feedback as well. And then Debbie, really appreciate you jumping in and getting involved. We do need some volunteers for greeters, somebody to throw a sign around or wear a sandwich board, making sure people that are coming in on Thursday are headed over our way. We'd love to get folks checked in. We didn't do that at our first summit, but we'd love to just make sure that, that we're capturing the folks that are coming into the room and making sure that, that we're following up with those folks as well. And then we do have a booth at Scale. Thank you, Scale, for sponsoring that for us as well. The booth will be active in the expo from Friday through Sunday. And so if you'd love to hang out at the booth, as well as, share about Kwaai, I'll show you a little bit of our preview of what the booth duty will look like. But please RSVP, add whether or not you can come on the kwaai.ai/summit. That website's been updated as well. Please share it around. It's got the agenda up there. This thing is, it's pretty much done now. And super excited for all of the folks that are going to be sharing their thoughts and sharing their expertise. For the Kwaai folks that are on this list that I haven't heard from yet, please do send me a headshot, a bio, a talk description. We'll get that up on the website as well. Here's some previews of the almost final drafts of the banner pull-ups. We're really focusing on 3 themes. What personal AI is, what it is that we're actually building on the tools side, the Pi operating system, the Pi abilities. This is just a deconstructed architecture diagram here. This new phrasing, me to be, came up in some of the work that Riza and Doc are doing. Me to be, the idea is, I will tell the businesses what it is that I want. And so it really inverts that advertising flow. And we've talked about, this idea that these digital advertisers are creating these digital twins, these thin facsimiles of you, knowing some preferences, but that's all distributed across the internet, different vendors, and they're selling those things back and forth between each other. What a key benefit of Kwaai and a key benefit, of personal AI is going to be to invert that flow. So essentially, if you can personalize requests to services, then you don't actually have to get bombarded with their attempts at personalizing for you. You're just getting what you want out of the system. And then also our call to action. Scale is a developer conference. We are going to be focused on developers, and these are open source developers. So that would be great to have them as volunteers, as members. We are going to be focused on engaging more enterprise organizations for donations, for collaboration. We do have some enterprise sponsorships packages that are now starting to evolve. Partnerships with academic institutions. Huge thanks to those that have connected with us thus far. And then, of course, technology providers. So, folks like Masu, who are in the robotics, space, or Mike Rubin in the blockchain space. What are some areas of technology or services that we can partner with around the ecosystem to develop that personal AI ecosystem? And if you're coming, you're going to get one of these cool shirts, AI, no, it's personal. So
can we just go back to that previous slide? I still need to update the t-shirt graphics with your new with the new iconography. It'd be great if there was a QR code on these.
Yep. So I'll get that. There's almost final, Reese. I'll get that. I'll get those updates in today.
I hadn't seen this before, but the AI in Kwaai looks kind of invisible on the black background. I don't think we printed it on a black background, so maybe we can do something about that. But if anybody has any feedback for Matt for these graphics, these are going to be retractable pop-up, pull-up banners. So we will be, I think, firing off the print of these on Monday, as well as the t-shirts. So please get your inputs into Matt, and this will initially be in the foyer as people are coming in. And hopefully we've got a meet and greet people there to get people, if they're signing up for scale to kind of divert them to Kwaai as well on that early day, on that first day. But then it'll be in the booth for the remainder of the conference. Okay, very good. Thanks for doing that. That makes us look like we know what we're doing.
We've got all the marketing, all the good marketing stuff around it now.
Sure, it's busy, but it's a talking point. And so
right.
when people come to the booth, you can imagine someone talking them through it and what our message is all about. So I think that's
a great point, Riza. These will be at the booth, and for the booth duty request that I just made, that's basically the job. Is hey, let folks know and explain some of these banners. Yeah, go.
Matt, Reza, just so you guys know, I have a graphic designer that wants to contribute. He's going to hop on the call right now, and then you guys can get together and we can see if he can help tighten this stuff up. But he's awesome, and he has volunteered. I just told him to come on the call right now, so we should see him pop on. His name is Amaka, like Jamaica.
Okay, that's great. I mean, maybe the hackathon session straight after this, we can actually go and dive into detail. That's great. Okay, but bring him on board. Yeah. Okay.
Awesome. Love it. More help, the better. Great. So let's get to some exciting demos here. Actually, real quick on the agenda, Riza and Kai, I see you've got your hand up as well. Would love to just get some teasers from you both on the fundamentals track and what it is that you'll be presenting at the Kwaai Summit here. But Kai, did you have some feedback here before?
Yeah, rapidly on the the banner you have. I would take away help. I just would make AI personal. So we kind of, the statement is maybe stronger. At the bottom of what you have, and it's going to be simpler too.
Great. Yeah, please, love the feedback. Kwaai Summit is where we're working on this stuff. Please jump in the Slack if you have comments and thoughts here on the final versions. We do need to get these to the printers soon. So yeah, thank you so much. There'll be a final revision today. Kyle, incorporate that. Great suggestion. So before we popped into the demos, Riza, just hoping that you and Kai give us a quick preview of the fundamentals pieces here. We've got, Kai Pham. Kai, you're going to be speaking on some advancements in machine reasoning, really taking us on a journey from your first Kwaai Summit, where you helped us differentiate between machine learning and machine reasoning, and Riza deep diving into fluidic neural networks. So we'd just love for you to spend a few minutes and give us a quick preview of your talks here.
So I can start, Reza. So yeah, last time it was about machine learning and machine reasoning. This time I'm going to start with what are all the reasoning AI approach that exists today, and then what are the limitation and what are the goal of how these things goes. So what it exists, because it has been done, almost at the same time than machine learning, the different approach from fuzzy logic, K-based reasoning, analogy, blah, 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 and then to see why today we hear mainly machine learning and not the reasoning AI, and what has been advanced on that. So this is the
awesome.
Briefly, and a picture speaks louder than words. Let's see, why can't I share? Because I've logged in with the wrong account.
Give me one sec.
You may be co-host.
There you are.
Spectacular. Okay. Share now. That one. Share. Okay, very good. Right. So you should see a big red splodge on the screen. Okay. So neural networks are, the industry admits they don't understand why neural networks work. And that is that's always been unsettling for me, but they seem to work. And we spend a lot of energy and a lot of compute cycles to understand what are called the weights. That means the connections between nodes in a neural network. What is a neural network? A neural network is an array of numbers. They come in columns. Each column represents a layer. The first column represents the input layer, and subsequent columns are called hidden layers. And then at the end, the output layer gives you the output. There is a group of research that is called physics-inspired neural networks, physics-informed neural networks. And so just Google that, and you'll see a number of YouTube videos, and that can get you up to speed. But what it's doing is, rather than guessing or trying to learn what the weights are between each node in the layers, those weights are actually determined by physics. So here I've used the physics of a fluid, specifically a rotating fluid, and tried to come up with a neural network that is based on fluidic computing. So why do that? Why use a fluid? Why use a physics system to try and re-engineer or reinvent the neural network? The neural networks, we don't understand why they work, and they're also very, very expensive to compute, because in each of those layers, let's say you had 1,000 points in each layer, 1,000 nodes. Each node is connected to every other node in the adjacent layer. So to connect to the next layer, you'd need 1,000,000 connections, 1,000 times 1,000. It turns out that in a fluidic neural network, you only need 2 connections. So that on its own is a massive reduction in the computation complexity. So if we can achieve the same sort of AI model based on a physics-inspired neural network, we actually end up with something that is easier to compute. I'm going to show you how easy it is to compute. I'm going to determine the weights of the network, and we're going to do it live. So I've spun up a volume here of the fluid, and bang, there we go. Okay, so that is generated the weights. Now, for putting in an extra data point into the network, and it's now recomputed the network, and that's doing it in a Google spreadsheet. It's not requiring an entire data farm of GPUs. Reducing the computation complexity to order n from order n squared is a dramatic advance. So we're in the early stages. We've got the mathematics for how this works. Now we're trying to see if we can solve some problems with it. And there might be, not all the problems are solvable this way. Neural networks basically are great at solving statistical correlation problems. It's basically saying, we don't know how this system works, but we've got some historical data. So let's train it up on the historical data, and then just by correlation, come up with results. As Kwaai will tell you, correlation is not causation. It turns out that a physics-inspired neural network is much better for causal problems, problems where there's a cause and effect chain, a sequence. And so that's probably the class of problem we're going to solve. That's a teaser for it. I'm going to stop the share and hand back to Matt.
Awesome. I'm super excited, and the fact that we kind of have these thoughts at Kwaai, I never leave one of these meetings without having learned something new, and from this community, and that's the core value that I get from it. So thank you for sharing that, Riza. I'm looking forward to your presentation. Let's take it over to the Arcus Nexus team. Cyan and has some demos for us. Why don't we start there, Cyan, with your updates, and then Balaji, we'll kick it over to you for a demo.
Sounds good. All right, good morning, everyone. So currently we are still working on implementing the LLM fine-tuning. The core of the POC basically is labeling incoming emails depending on the context of the email. We're choosing between personal and professional emails right now, and all the others are being represented as unknown emails. So we are still doing some work on the classification, so it is a little bit more accurate. However, the basic POC is currently working. The next steps that we are going to be working for the rest of February is implementing the Llama 7 billion parameter fine-tuned. We're still struggling a little bit on creating the data source so we can fine-tune that model. The whole focus of fine-tuning it is so we can represent that it is actually having a persona. And we're going to be having a beloved character persona in this fine-tune, which is George W. Bush. So that's something that is still in work. We're also doing some progress in the RAG implementation. Currently, it is working a little bit better. On last meeting on Wednesday, we were showing that it is actually responding to emails based on the context of the conversation. However, this week we were able to make it a little bit better. So it has context of the conversation. So if we mention something in the conversation, it will know about it in the next replies. Currently, it is working only for 5 replies. In the 6th one, it is hallucinating a little bit, but we're doing some progress in that. Can we jump to the next slide, please? All right, today we have a demo. It is not a live demo as we did on Wednesday. We're going to be showing you only the results that we are acquiring. We were doing some fine-tuning and some other things during the week, so the progress is not actually working today live, but we can show you everything that we have until now, all the responses that were generated on Wednesday in real time, and we will be showing you something else again once we finish enhancing everything that we have until now. So for this demo, we're going to be showing you the generated graph responses based on RAG, also the email conversation knowledge that it has from the threads that are happening in an email conversation, and the classification of the emails that is based on the context of the email. And that's pretty much it. And you said Balaji is jumping us, right? And that we demoed the vote.
Yeah, why don't you guys show your demo progress here? Is that going to be you? Is that going to be Annie?
Yeah, it's going to be Emiliano.
Okay, Anna, I've got you as co-presenter here.
So you have to stop presenting.
Hi.
So
Oh, Emiliano, sorry.
Hi, can you give me the permission to share my screen, please?
Give me 1 second here. Too many people in this list now. Good problems to have. All right, there you go.
Okay.
and
No.
Matt, you need to stop. There we go.
No, I can't share my screen. I don't have the permission.
Why didn't that work? All right, that was odd. All right.
Oh, no, yes.
Try that now.
Okay.
This time with feeling.
The demo gods are always cursing things.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now we have this conversation. This conversation was on Wednesday. We was testing the RAG responses, and my answers are generated by RAG, and the context is Annie invites me to the theater, and this is the first email. like, hey, Emiliano, let's go to the and do something new this weekend. Don't you wanna try a play in Barcelona Theater? Please let me know if this works for you by now. And this is the response by Rack. Um, Hi Annie, thanks for the invitation to the theater. I'd be happy to join you for the any new experience this weekend. The Barcelona Theater sounds like a great choice, and let's confirm the date and time that works best for both of us. And now we was testing the context for the rack because we need to comprove that rack is taking the context of all conversation, right? And now Annie told me the the day and the hour, and she asked me, "What do you think?"
Yeah, here, let me jump in again. Here we kept a conversation like around 10 emails. So which was nice because in this case we added wrap, which means like we were able to like maintain that new information through the whole thread of the email. So at the end, yeah, like at the end, after 10 or 9 emails, yeah, the response was not like the best, but can you show like the last answer generated by Rack? Please, Emiliano. So
The last
in this,
answer?
yeah, the last, I think the last draft.
Oh no, I don't have the last draft.
Okay.
The last draft.
Yeah, the thing is that I like my job was trying to test the rack source, right? So I'm trying to add more information. Let's change the plans and so on. So at the end, the rack was able to keep that information after, let's say, 10 emails. And at the end, he started like hallucinating, maybe, and just put me some brackets like, please insert here the name of the theater and here the hour that we are gonna go. But like it was a really good test, yeah.
I would
And
like.
we saw the difference, yeah.
I just want to add something. Can you go a little bit up, Emiliano, please? A little bit down, a little bit down. There you go, that one. So here, Annie is responding with, great, it's let's meet on Friday. So there's no response for that unless it is like an okay or something. So the filter model that we're using detected that, so it didn't generate it like a draft response because it was not necessary. So after that, Annie asked again, what do you think? And then it generated a new draft response because it detected that the conversation has no more point on going further until Annie asked again, what do you think? So basically this demo is representing just how the draft responses are being generated by Rack. This happened on real time. So both responses were automatically generated in both inboxes. So they were having a conversation just with draft responses, maybe a little bit of enhancing on the draft responses.
Cyan, let me make a suggestion that we just put a like in the signature, after the signature, this was generated by Kwaai personal AI or something like that. You know, the sender can delete that if they want, but it'd be good just to illustrate what was generated by the AI and what was you know, human generated. Much like, you know, when you typing a message, sometimes at the end it says this was sent from my iPad. That's just, you know, Apple just advertising. But it'd be also good just for the purpose of these demos. What you demoed to us on Wednesday was you actually doing it live. Annie had her system up and running, had Gmail, and you sent her an email live, and the system categorized it and then generated a response. And I think that was obviously more impressive. I understand for the purpose of today, you're not doing that, but great. Thanks so much.
Yeah, and I'm really impressed here just in that, this is a great example of the Pi ability. And this concept that we are reaching out into where a user does things in their digital workflows, in this case, Gmail, and an artificial intelligence assistant showing up there to help that user get things done. Not to do things for that user, as was mentioned, sometimes a draft reply gets created and you want to modify a few things, but it's ideally there to get you a little bit further through your digital process and really just support you on your way. So a great example of the ability that we'll be showing an email communications assistant at scale. And Balaji's got the second part of that, which is really a core part of the Pi operating system. Balaji, actually, I need to get you prepared here, but are you all set?
Yes, I'm good to go. Thanks, Matt. I just need permission to share. Okay, so while we are doing that, so the objective of this demo is to showcase the capability of talking to your data. Like, what if we can use all the natural language capabilities of these LLMs and retrieval augmented generation, all the technology that exists? Can I use it to talk to whatever data I have? So to set the stage, I have pulled some of the auto transcripts with help of Matt and Reza, and fed it to the system from our weekly meetings and work group meetings and such. And let's see what it can do. Just going to share my screen here. Hopefully the audio comes through. So what you see is a AI character. Everything in this demo is constructed using open source projects and virtual avatar from Midjourney. Hi.
Hello, I'm Maddie, your assistant for any questions regarding the organization Kwaai. If you have any inquiries or need assistance, feel free to ask, and I'll be happy to help.
Tell me about Kwaai.
I love that animation there. That's cool.
That's your request, Matt.
Kwaai is an organization that focuses on developing and utilizing AI technology, specifically large language models, LLM engineered AI. The group aims to explore and contribute to the field of AI, sharing knowledge and collaborating on projects. They hold weekly public meetings to discuss progress, updates, and any relevant topics. The meetings provide a platform for members to share their thoughts, ask questions, and engage in discussions about AI and its applications. The organization values inclusivity and encourages participation from all members, regardless of their level of expertise or experience in the field.
That's great. Is there an EMEA chapter?
Yes, there is an EMEA Europe, Middle East, and Africa chapter for Kwaai. Christian has stepped up to be the EMEA chapter lead, and they are working on forming and organizing the chapter. If you're in that region, you can join the EMEA chapter Slack channel to get involved and stay updated on their activities. The weekly public meetings are also a great opportunity to connect and discuss ideas related to the EMEA chapter.
How many volunteers does the organization have today?
The organization currently has around 180 volunteers, as mentioned in the transcript from February 21, 2024. They are running just over one new member a day to reach their goal of 1,000 volunteers by the end of 2024.
Tell me a very short story about Kwaai.
Once upon a time, in a small town, there was a group of people who shared a common interest in AI and its potential impact on society. They formed an organization called Kwaai, dedicated to exploring and understanding AI capabilities. As they met weekly, they welcomed new members like Shin, Pranav, and Jackson, who were eager to learn and contribute to their mission. Together, they worked towards a brighter future, fueled by their passion for AI and its possibilities. And so, Kwaai continued to grow and thrive as they shared their knowledge and ideas with one another.
All right, that's all, folks. I can show you all the details that it produced. It also has citations on which transcript it pulled the detail from and such. So it's not to verify that it's not hallucinating.
Hey, Balaji, this is a quick question I want to ask. Like, so now if you ask this some random question, it would have the same response for like anything online, like scientific or health or movies.
Yeah, go ahead. It has some life sciences transcript. If you want to ask a question, I can type it in.
Oh, why don't you ask it? What's the side effect? This is for Diego. What's the side effect of aspirin? see if it hallucinates.
What is the side effect
of aspirin? I'll say something like that.
Did I spell it right? Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, that's right.
As long as it's in the transcript I fed it, it should be able to find it. Let's see.
Yeah, it might be going a little outside of the realm, but
Aspirin, also known as acetylsalicylic acid, has several known side effects. Some of these side effects include gastrointestinal issues such as stomach pain, heartburn, nausea, and vomiting, as well as increased risk of bleeding, especially when taken in high doses or for extended periods of time. Additionally, aspirin may cause allergic reactions such as skin rashes, hives, or difficulty breathing. It's important to consult a healthcare professional before taking aspirin, especially if you have a history of allergies or gastrointestinal issues. However, it's worth noting that the specific side effects of aspirin may vary depending on the individual and the dosage used. The probability of experiencing a particular side effect may also vary, as mentioned by Josh Weinstein in the transcript. In some cases, it might be helpful to consider the probability of a side effect occurring before making a decision about whether or not to take aspirin.
Very cool. That was phenomenal, Balaji, and thank you so much for sharing. Really appreciate you doing this. Please jump into the Pi Architecture Workgroup Slack channel. Balaji has promised to share this as soon as he can get an instance, that can support the share. He's promised to share this for some folks to play around with. Thank you, Balaji. It's a fantastic demo. Kai, apologies. I'm gonna skip over here and jump into member voices. We don't have a lot of time left. This is my favorite part of the presentation here, or excuse me, of the weekly meeting here, where we get to know the new folks. So if you're new today, and I've got a list of you, to introduce yourself, and if you don't raise your virtual hand, I'm going to call on you. We would love to hear from you. Please introduce yourself, what brought you to the meeting today, what you're interested in, and we'd love to hear from you. So I'll go in order of the folks that are raising their hands, and then I might be calling on you if you haven't yet. So let's start with Craig. Welcome, Craig.
Craig says he has no camera or microphone, so we might have to skip Craig.
We'll wave Craig. I know Craig. I'll introduce Craig here. Craig is part of the Bend DevOps group. And Bend, Oregon has a great developer community, and Craig has been a standby of that community for a long time. So super excited to have Craig popping in here today. Welcome, Craig. Oscar, how about you?
All right, good morning, everyone, or whatever time of day it is. Very interesting stuff. This is my first time here. I just finished my 5-year postdoc at UC Santa Cruz, in California, and I'm looking for new ways to employ the work that I've developed, which is a simulation of slime mold. So slime mold is sort of creature of nature that builds networks and finds patterns that look like networks. You could call it a simple AI, but it's really just kind of a pattern simulator. And I'll paste a few links into the chat so that you can look up more if you like.
Awesome. Welcome, Oscar.
Welcome, Oscar. You're a neighbor. Me and Carson are both in Santa Cruz, bro. Let's get together.
Yeah, I mean, Carson actually told me about Kwaai just yesterday.
Oh,
so
awesome. Awesome.
all very
Awesome, man.
Great. Fantastic. And Carson was talking about slime mold in the chat earlier. So love it when a good plan comes together.
The oldest form of intelligence I know about, that's for sure. I don't mean Carson, I mean slime mold.
So a biology-inspired neural network rather than a physics-inspired neural network. I love it.
Yeah, it's not even a neural network. It's really a visualize and reconstructor for any network, and you could use it to actually visualize neural networks too. I have some examples.
Okay, gotcha.
Awesome. Thank you, Oscar, and welcome. Richard, how about you?
Hi, folks. Richard Witt. What I know about slime molds, I believe they sometimes act as individuals and sometimes as communities. So I think that's also a really interesting aspect, depending upon their environmental situation or what have you. So maybe in some ways an analogy as well for what Kwaai is trying to accomplish here. I'm a public policy attorney, was at Google for over 11 years, then more recently a fellow at Mozilla Foundation. And my passion really is around personal intelligence, AIs, acting as our actual agents in the actual sense of agency, meaning on our behalf, which among other things means governance that's inspired by things like the duty of care and loyalty under the common laws of fiduciaries. So I'll bring that to the table, and just in general, public policy geek. So really happy to learn more. Hopefully it'll be down next month at the conference in Pasadena. And I think I'm talking to Reza next week. So glad to be here.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Welcome.
Looking forward to talking to you next week, Richard.
And Richard, we have a policy channel in the Kwaai Slack work group that we'd love for you to join in. Marcus is here. He, in particular, quick call to action here from on Marcus's behalf. He's posted some employment contract language that he'd love some feedback on. How can somebody use a digital assistant at work with their employer's permission? So that's one of the things that Kwaai's policy work group is thinking about. And Marcus is specifically waiting for some feedback on some initial ideas there. Hi, how about you?
Hi, yeah, this is Jay Jessima. I been in and out of AI product development for quite some time, but about a year ago, started trying to give back and formed a nonprofit called the Transparency Coalition. We're focused on trying to educate at the state level, policymakers and lawmakers on how to, the importance of training data, transparency in, the development of ethical AI. So, see, it's a big, broad area, AI safety as a whole. But we've discovered that a lot of the stuff is rooted in, the theft of personal information or copyrighted content or other types of content, and so we are out advocating primarily in Washington and California. Those are the two states we're active in right now. And we are excited that our first amendment to an AI legislation is going to a floor vote next week in Washington. So that's in 4 short months. That's been an awesome process. And this is such an exciting organization.
Jay, you got introduced to me by my former boss, Rob Glazer.
Also my former boss.
The media mafia, the media mafia.
Exactly. It's the real networks mafia. And welcome aboard. And we look forward to collaborating with your organization to bolster our policy initiatives, or maybe we can do something together.
I mean, it really felt it's one of the most inspiring meetings I've been in a while. Just seeing the energy and of all the volunteers, super impressive.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Jay. Maurice, please.
Good morning. I'm Maurice Brutsfield. I live at the very southernmost point of Puget Sound in Olympia, Washington. It's quite beautiful here. I've been a marketer, online marketer, since I first saw the internet back in '94, I guess it was. And I hope to bring my marketing chops to this effort. I think this is just an amazing thing. I fell down the ChatGPT rabbit hole about a year ago, over a year ago, and using it for marketing. And now with all the AI MarTech tools that are available to us out there, automating as much of the processes for my clients as I possibly can. I have a remote workforce down in Colombia who I spoke to on Wednesday, demoed Kwaai. They're very interested in volunteering, and there's some opportunities there.
Maurice.
Who is that?
That was Toby said thank you.
Toby Morning. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you.
I thank you, and look forward to contributing whatever I can to spreading the word and creating a more robust online marketing presence for the organization. It's what I do.
Fantastic, Maurice. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Yeah.
inviting me into the group.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Great to have you here. And I know we're running long. Riza, I'm going to cut into your wrap-up time here. There were a few more names on the list that we haven't heard from today. Would anybody else like to volunteer, raise their hand? Srinivasa, Frank,
Joel,
Trevor.
Say hi.
Oh, there's Frank. Hello, Joe. Frank, go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm located here in Mexico City, and I'm thrilled to be joining the team as the new quality assurance specialist, and I'll be working with the ARCAS team to enhance the performance of this new tool. Nice to meet everybody.
Thanks so much. We really appreciate your help.
Joel, yeah.
Yeah, I heard about this group just now from Toby Morning. He invited me, and I'm an AI researcher. I did mostly vision till recently. My latest gig, I put together LLM to help assist underprivileged communities get loans faster. And now I'm looking for my next gig.
Great. So Joel, the straight after this, there's the hackathon. And we'd like to talk to you more about the graphic design issue. Thanks.
That's where we dig into a lot of the technical questions that come up here.
That's actually a maker for the design. I don't know if he could come off mute and say hi, but he is on the call.
Toby, hold on, buddy. Doc, would you please give us a intro here?
Doc Searles. Oh, hi. I didn't know I'd moved that far up the queue. Hi, I'm just saying hi. I'm Doc Searles. I'm a veteran journalist and other things, and I'm going to be speaking about personal AI, about which I've written a lot at the upcoming summit. Actually, there it is on screen. And so I look forward to seeing everybody there. It's, the angle I'm taking is actually using personal AI to actually take controls of our lives, not just online, but just anyway.
Tell us the title of your talk.
Actually, it's taken from something that Sam Altman said, and I'm looking it up right now because I wrote about it. He actually said in an OpenAI event that what he's looking toward is what he called individual empowerment and agency on a scale we've never seen before. And I thought, that's great. We've been working on that for about 20 years. Maybe AI will give that to us. And because I have a project that we started at Harvard way back in 2006 toward really increasing personal agency in business, in business engagements. And but I think maybe personal AI could do that. I don't see OpenAI doing it because they're in the mainframe business. And one of the things we'll be talking about is that, at least it feels to me right now, maybe different on the 14th, but right now it feels to me like it's 1974. And it's like personal computing was an oxymoron in 1974. And in the next few years, we actually had personal computers and history happened. But right now, it's all the mainframe guys are saying, we're going to give you personal power, but no, they can't. So we need it on
Doc,
our own.
we're really looking forward to your
Yeah.
participation and your keynote at the summit. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doc. Yes. And Srinivasa, we're running a bit long. Please introduce yourself. You'll be the last one today. Thank you so much.
Yeah, hi everyone. This is Srinivas Raju, and I am from UK. So I have been here for last 5 years. I am from India, and I have been working in infra and cloud. I'm also managing, handling all the cloud transformation projects, and also exploring AI, generative AI. So happy to contribute to Kwaai.
Well,
thanks so much.
You. Yeah, thank you.
Riza, why don't you take us out real quick today?
Gosh, really quickly. Okay, thanks so much. Hope to see you at the summit. If you're not there in person, stream it live. It'll be on LinkedIn Live. We had 58 members on this call at the peak, so that's fantastic. Let's just keep up the amp. Tell your friends. Let's grow the membership. And happy Kwaai Day.